Guess who's back, everybody? That's right, Jack Blow the Ripper, deranged lunatic Smith. Just right off the heels of one of the worst vice presidential performances in the history of VP debates, where Tampon Tim essentially said he befriends school shooters, lied about the border bill, lied about housing, and lied about pretty much everything else. It was an absolute disaster. New polling numbers have come out where Kamala and Tampon Tim's numbers did not increase one iota. There's even some polls that say he actually went down. They both went down. And of course, well, we got to do something. We can't have him run. We obviously have to do something. So here we go. Here comes Jack Deranged Lunatic Smith. So this just happened today, Wednesday, October 2nd, 30 days before the most consequential election of our lives. Judge Chutkan unseals Jack Smith's redacted 165-page presidential immunity motion. My fellow Americans, I'm going to break down everything for you so you don't have to. This indictment is over 165 pages. Holy macadamia nut. Filled with all sorts of legalese and vernacular and semantics and garbage. And your boy Nez is going to cover everything for you. So come on in. Let me know where you're joining me from. Let me know what city, what state, what country. I would love to hear from you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is nothing short of lawfare as election interference, continued and perpetuated by Kamala, by Tampon Tim, by Clinton, Obama, Soros, the entire cabal. They can't win legitimately. They can't beat them the American way, which is at the ballot box. Everything that Tampon Tim claimed last night in the VP debate, we should just shake hands with those freakish. I mean, did you guys? We watched it live. I don't know if you guys were able to join us last night. Did you see this guy's facial expressions? Oh, oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know about you, but we should shake hands. And this is the American way. He's a freaking weirdo. I mean, he is a bona fide, unadulterated, capital W weirdo. So I'm going to break this down. I'm going to tell you what this entails, what this means, what are the outcomes, what are the implications. Is this going to go to trial before the election? Is this serious? Is this nothing serious? Is it going to sway voters? As well, I'm going to share with you Trump's response. Trump has responded to this brand new unsealing of this indictment, the United States of America, if you could call it that. It's really just the political weaponization of our DOJ by Kamala, Obama, Clinton, and Soros against somebody I would call is an American hero, one of the greatest products of America, who, by the way, was born from two immigrants, right? His dad was from Germany and his mother was from Scotland. You see, the radical left likes to think that, Americans and Trump and anybody who follows Trump or votes for Trump is against immigration. They don't understand. They keep touting this. Oh, America's built on. No. We're not against immigration. We are not against immigration. Yes, immigrants have built this country. Legal. You need to add the modifier. Legal. These people that are burning cats and roasting ducks and geese and taking over apartment complexes in Aurora and infiltrating cities, robbing, maiming, raping, killing American citizens, those are not people looking for the promised land. Those are not the kind of legal immigrants that we're talking about. So let me just see really quickly. I want to just double check if this is, because I'm not seeing the chat. Is everything okay on the live end? Where's my mods at? Cat Snow? Let's see. Do we have some comments? I'm trying to see. I can't see the comments coming in right now. Leave a couple of comments and let me know if you're there. Okay. I just want to make sure that everything is okay on that end. Okay. So let's break this down. So I will actually leave a link to the entire indictment. Again, it's 165 pages. If you can read this stuff, if you can go through this stuff, I will leave a link to this. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I see the comments. Awesome. Let me know where you're joining me from, what city, what state, what country. If you're watching this on the replay, give me a capital TR in the comments. I always love to see the team replay people. And stick around, new members, super chats, and super stickers. I will give you live shout outs at the end. So I went through this entire indictment so you don't have to. And I have broken this down. But what I will do is I will definitely leave you. So here's my notes right here. I will definitely leave for you in case there are some legal minds out there. I will definitely leave for you anything that you, if you want to read the actual indictment yourself, I can definitely do that for you. Okay. Let's see if I can do 175 here. Okay. That should give us enough room. Okay, right there. So let's go through this together. We'll talk about the implications. What does it mean? What are the charges? What's going to happen? And then I'll share with you Trump's response, and then we'll have an analysis and commentary on this. So, indictment overview. Former President Donald J. Trump is being indicted for allegedly attempting to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election through a series of criminal acts, all false, all proven hoax, all proven unfounded, zero merit. You ask any legal expert, legal scholar. Same thing with the hush money trial. Same thing with Big James, Letitia Shame, James, Big Shame James. That's what I call her. Alvin Do Nothing Bragg, Judge Gargamel, Judge Fake Don Juan Merchan. They're all the same. They're all to quote Mr. Wonderful. Kevin, what the hell's his last name? I forgot it already. But anyway, to quote Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary, who said that this is terrible for the American brand. Going after a political opponent like this, indicating that we're essentially sending a light, a giant beam into the sky for the entire world to see that essentially represents and says we are a kangaroo banana republic. That's what we are. We go after our political opponents like a kangaroo banana republic. Here are the key charges. The key charges are conspiracy to defraud the United States. Trump and his co-conspirators allegedly used false claims. I can see you, just another truther. Thank you so much. Welcome. Trump and his co-conspirators allegedly used false claims of voter fraud to challenge the election results in several states. Obstruction of an official proceeding. The indictment claims that Trump aimed to block Congress from certifying the legitimate election results on January 6, 2021. And then the third charge, conspiracy to disenfranchise voters. I mean, they'll just come up with anything. Trump allegedly tried to manipulate vote counts and pressure state officials to alter legitimate election results. The phone call, the famous phone call, when he said, all I need is 11,000 votes. We have now conclusive evidence, especially in Georgia, where there was indisputable miscounts, ballots, not just 5, 4, 100, 1,000, 5,000, hundreds of thousands of ballots went missing. It is uncanny, my fellow Americans, how right Trump has been since literally day one about the fake news, about the media, about China, about the Wuhan virus, about Fauci, about Kamala, about Biden, about Obama. He's literally never been wrong. He's hit the mark every single time out. So it's just really amazing to me, and I can't even understand how anybody is still undecided at this point. It just makes no sense. We're 30 days out. By the way, if you love your country, give me a tap the thumbs up real quick. If you love America, tap the thumbs up. Alleged criminal scheme. Okay, let's talk about this. This is all coming from the indictment. These are my notes from the indictment. Trump and his associates falsely claimed the election was stolen and spread misinformation to challenge results in states like Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. He allegedly pressured state and federal officials, including then Vice President Mike Pence, to reject or alter the lawful vote certification process. No, that is completely incorrect because all he needed to do, this is how awful these people are. By the way, really quickly, I just want to say something real fast. Why are the Democrats so opposed to voter ID? You now need to do a facial ID retina scan to get into Costco. Yet you don't need any ID to prove you're a U.S. citizen to vote in the most consequential election of our lives. These are elections that determine what the policies, what the legislation, what's going to happen to our schools, our taxes, our money, our economy. Are we going to war? Are we bombing people or not? You mean to tell me it is tougher to get into Costco? It is tougher to go shop and get 19,000 packs of almonds or cheese or bread or avocados than it is to vote in the United States of America federal state elections? Are you kidding me right now? Am I the only one who thinks this is crazy? Can somebody please tell me am I absolutely crazy right now? How does this make any sense? And why are they so opposed? So that's one thing. Why are they so opposed to double checking and making sure that we've counted all the votes? If you won, if you got 81 million votes, Joe Biden, oh, yeah, right. What are you so afraid of? Why not certify? Why not double check? And he did not tell Pence to deny and not certify the election. All he said was for Pence to hold out to make sure that we have all of the facts. We have all of the votes. That's all he said. My man JB is in the house. Again, if you love your country, tap that thumbs up. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'd love to get your thoughts on that. Why are they so opposed to voter ID? And why are they so opposed to really making sure conclusively that we've done everything possible to make sure and maintain the integrity of our elections? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. There could only be one reason for them to vote against this, to be so vehemently opposed to this, and to really deny the American public the opportunity to understand transparency. What's really going on in our elections? Am I nuts? Look, I welcome all opposing views on this channel. I love my country. I love America. America is about conversation and discourse. I believe communicating with one another, talking through, debating ideas. I don't attack people, I attack ideas, even though I got to be honest, I attacked Tampon Tim last night because he's such a weird goof. He's such a weird, phony, lying goof. Did you see his answer when he said, when the only time those rigged moderators, those awful, abysmal moderators, the only time they ever gave a little bit of pushback to Tampon Tim is when they said, "Excuse me, sir, why did you lie about being in China in Tiananmen Square when you were clearly in Nebraska?" Did you hear his answer to that? Did you see him backpedal and stumble, mumble, and fumble through all of that? I mean, what do you guys think of that? Absolutely, just another truther. We definitely do, 100%. Okay, so this is obvious that there's something amiss here. So I welcome all views. This is what America's all about. I welcome all views. Personal ad hominem attacks, ain't got time for you. See you later. Right to spam. I'm not even going to engage. You have something constructive, something thoughtful, something that engages in critical thought. I will listen to you 1,000,000,000%. He allegedly pressured state and federal officials, including then Vice President Pence, to reject or alter the vote certification process. The indictment also ties Trump to the January 6th Capitol attack. There's been a lot of evidence that proves that he posted on Twitter, then Twitter, now X, I want everybody to be peaceful. We are the party of law and order. Please protest peacefully and lawfully. The indictment ties Trump's statements and actions to the violence that erupted at the Capitol, claiming he incited his supporters to disrupt the certification of the electoral vote, which has all been debunked a million times. And I don't think anybody really cares about that anymore, because Nancy Pelosi has even admitted on camera that she was the real arbiter and facilitator of January 6th, and she could have called the National Guard, and she didn't, and she denied Trump so many opportunities to share how he was against and opposed any kind of violence on the police, the Capitol Police, et cetera, et cetera. And so there's already been so many ghost stories about January 6th. There's already been so many whistleblowers come out and say there was undercover Dem operatives, undercover Fed agents. I mean, it's been proven over and over again. And I don't think anybody, why would you do this? 30 days to the most consequential election of our lives, right after the worst performance in vice presidential debate history by Tampon Tim. It's because they're panicking, folks. It's because they're panicking. That is what they're doing. They're just panicking, literally. I'll also be playing some footage of the Trump team's reaction to this in just a little bit, and then I will also post Trump's response. So stick around for that. Immunity argument rejected. So this is what the kind of immunity clause, that these were acts of an official capacity as president of the United States. Again, the 165-page indictment, I will attach that. You can read it. I'll put a link to it in the description and show notes after the show. So if you're watching this on the replay, it should already be there. If you're here now, it won't be there yet, but I will attach it. I'm just giving you my notes and my breakdown. Trump's defense argues presidential immunity, but the government claims this does not apply because his actions were part of a private, non-official campaign to stay in power. It just goes to show, my fellow Americans, ladies and gentlemen, you can interpret anything in any way, shape, or form. You can bend interpretation at your will so that it serves your interests rather than the American public, rather than what's best for the country. And this is exactly what Kamala, Obama, and Clinton are doing. They are bending the DOJ to their will, to their interest. They will stop at nothing. They tried to bankrupt him. They tried to smear him. They tried to imprison him. They tried to assassinate him. They're trying to do everything in their power, vilify him. They're calling him a threat to democracy on every single interview show. Hillary Clinton, the evil wench that Hillary Clinton is, has said we need to even push harder. We need to even go even more violent with our rhetoric. It's like they are a very troubled group, which is why Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has endorsed Trump. His uncle, JFK, and his father, Robert Kennedy, both, he has said, their party is gone. The Democratic Party of my father and uncle is completely gone. What has replaced them is warmongers, powermongers, liars, cheats, and deceitful entities. Conclusion: the government is pursuing this case on the grounds that Trump's actions, okay, this is sort of a kind of wrap up of that, were personal efforts to hold on to power, not actions protected by presidential authority, meaning he should be held accountable like any other citizen. So that's kind of the claim there. And what's the ultimate gist of this? So this is my conclusion. The ultimate gist of this indictment against Donald J. Trump is that he is accused of orchestrating a criminal scheme to overturn the 2020 presidential election, which we all know is absolutely unequivocally false. He did not do that. Not one bit did he do that, and that was proven false. Excuse me for a second, multiple times. The core of the government's argument is that Trump and his co-conspirators used fraud, deceit, and illegal actions to attempt to undermine the legitimate election results. Okay, but how in the world did Biden win then? How in the world has Biden been president for the last 4 years, along with his DEI hire, Comrade Kamala? So if he tried to use all of things, I mean, doesn't the president have absolute power? Right? Maybe not absolute power. We're supposed to be checks and balances, of course. But I mean, doesn't he have some kind of power? So he obviously, none of this came to light. None of this came true. So how in the world can you say that he's trying to overturn when everything that happened was lawful? There was a transference of power. Biden got inaugurated. Okay. Tombstone Vegetable and Chief got inaugurated. Kamala Harris, the VP DEI pick, is in there. Now she's trying to, essentially, she executed a coup on a sitting president. So how can you claim these things? This includes pressuring state officials, spreading false claims of voter fraud, and encouraging the January 6th Capitol riot to block Congress from certifying Joe Biden's victory. None of this stuff is true. Trump's defense rests on the argument that his actions were part of his official role as president. But the indictment claims these were private efforts tied to his reelection campaign, not protected by presidential immunity. So that's the sort of gist. Now, I want to get your thoughts on that. I would love to hear what you think about any of the what do you think of this sort of wrap up, if you will, of what I have done and my sort of notes? I've got a lot more. Again, I'm going to share with you Trump's team's response as well as Trump's actual response. And so stick around for that. That's coming up. But let me know what your thoughts are on so far. Is this swaying your opinion? Is this in some way influencing your decision? Are you really undecided 30 days out of the most important election of our lives? Is anybody still really undecided? I find it hard to believe that anybody can be undecided. You actually want more criminal migrants coming into our country? You want more forever wars? The chaos that's happening in the Middle East, the chaos that's happening in Russia, Ukraine, the chaos that's happening globally. You want more inflation? You want cost of goods and services to continue to rise? Gas, energy, groceries? You want crime to go rampant? I mean, I don't understand. You want woke ideologies to infiltrate every single facet of American life, like they have higher education, healthcare, every vertical, every business entity, the government. Is this what you want? I mean, you actually want 4 more. How are you undecided by now? I mean, I'm confused. How are you undecided right now? It makes literally no sense at all. Look at this moron on Twitch who actually thinks that I'm one of these channels being paid by Russians. I'm an American citizen, you moron. I'm a family-loving American. I've got kids. I'm born and raised. Unlike you, why don't you leave? Make like a tree and leave. If you got nothing else to say, get the hell out of here. If you don't have anything constructive and you're just going to throw around false defamations, how would you like to hear from my attorney, Jack? What a crock. Get out of here. What an absolute crock. You must be one of those Marxists, huh? Why don't you move to a country you actually support, you weakling with a fake profile picture troll? No, I want to confront this a-hole. I love my country. I'm born and raised here. My kids are born and raised here. How about you, Vladimir? What's your first name? Vladimir? You're a complete momo. Get out of here. Okay. So no, trolls don't faze me at all. Trolls got zero power over me. Okay. This guy on Twitch is a complete anti. He doesn't even have a real profile picture. I mean, he's just an anti-American lunkhead. That's all he is. Okay. Just a little drama for your mama. Okay. So potential outcomes. So I want to hear what you guys think about this. So potential outcomes. Here's what I have broken down. It kind of breaks down into 4 different bullet points here. So here's some potential outcomes. And then I'm going to also talk about what is the likelihood of this actually kind of unfolding and going to trial before the election. We're 30 days out. You have to also ask yourself this, Americans, my fellow Americans, you have to also ask yourself this: why now? The timing of this. Why now? After that abysmal performance by Tampon Tim, why now? They're desperate. The Dems are panicking. They're 100% desperate right now. And so that's exactly why that they're trying everything. It's kind of like throwing anything that you can against the wall and just hoping something sticks. How many indictments? 4 major federal indictments by Garrett Marlin and the DOJ, which every legal expert, every legal scholar, every legal specialist has said, including the number one attorney, Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz, said is the most egregious miscarriage of justice in his 60 years of trying law. What does that tell you? I mean, Alan Dershowitz is a Democrat. He's not a Republican. He's a Democrat. And he said that. That should tell you everything. So here's some potential outcomes, and then stay tuned. I've got more. So one of the outcomes is Trump could be convicted. If he's found guilty on the charges of conspiracy, fraud, and obstruction, Trump could face serious legal penalties, including fines and potentially prison time, which is exactly what they want. They wanted to convict him so they could call him convicted felon. Now they want to hopefully get him behind bars so you can see Joyless Reed, Joyless Behar, anti-American, Marxist-Leninist like this complete pipsqueak on Twitch right now who's just trolling and hates America with every fiber of his being. Just like all these anti-American Leninists, I have some news for you. Here's some breaking news for you, you anti-American socialist trash. Socialism and communism has never worked. You know what it has done? It's created the exact opposite of your fraudulent idea of utopia. It's created famine and death for millions of people. It's never worked. You lazy, anti-capitalistic, anti-societal, Marxist-Leninists, communists will never learn. It ain't working here in America. It ain't going to happen here in America. Bye-bye. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Hasta la pasta. A conviction could significantly impact Trump's political career, obviously, although legal debates could arise and the consequences of criminal convictions on his ability to run for president again. Or Trump could get acquitted. If Trump is acquitted, it would strengthen his political standing and he could use it as a rallying cry for supporters, arguing that the indictment was politically motivated, which it is. We all know it is. An acquittal might also embolden Trump and his base to push back against any future legal challenges. There could be some pre-trial resolutions. The case could be dismissed before trial if the court sides with Trump's immunity claims or if evidence is deemed insufficient. So just because this indictment was unsealed and it's making, headline news everywhere, it doesn't mean anything about whether or not he's going to actually be able to go forward with it. So that's a really, really big point and something that everybody needs to consider. A plea deal or settlement could occur, though this would be less likely given the political implications. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just going through all the options. Political and social ramifications, regardless of legal outcome, this case will likely have profound effects on the political landscape. And this is really important. What they're essentially doing is not only election interference, it's not only political lawfare, it's not only the weaponization of the DOJ, but they are, again, as Kevin O'Leary has said many times when he's done his little segments on major network television, this is bankrupting the brand of America. It's hurting the brand. people are not going to invest. Everybody in the world is watching us right now, and they are looking at us. We've got expert testimony from people all over the world. They're saying, what is wrong with you people? How are you letting your country, your beautiful, glorious land of promise and dreams, how are you letting it go to the gutter like this? How are you letting these social communists take over? And they're absolutely right. There's a bunch of morons out there actually thinking Kamala is the choice, actually thinking communism, open borders, inflation, a complete fraud who has zero qualifications, zero skill. There's actually people out there like, that's my girl. That's who I'm going to choose. Why? I don't know. She's just not Trump. All these stupid celebrities, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Mark Ruffalo. I mean, it just goes on and on. Now you got idiot basketball players like Steph Curry, LeBron James. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. I mean, the country is looking at us going, you were given Eden. You were given Eden. Why are you throwing it away? And I agree with them. I go, I'm with you. I don't understand it. That is the mission of this channel. The mission of this channel is to educate on a massive scale what's really happening. You're listening to Joy Behar, Joyless Reed, and you're listening to Nicole Wallace and all these momos who are brainwashing you every day. CNN, they're brainwashing you. It just drives me crazy. This case is historically significant and could set legal precedent. So it's ruining the brand of America. The fact that the judge unsealed this and disagreed with the Supreme Court is significant for several reasons. So the judge's actions, the impact of the judge's actions are really, really important. Again, stick around. I'm going to share with you Trump's team's response as well as Trump's response. By unsealing the indictment and proceeding with the case, the judge made it clear that Trump's actions as alleged were not protected by presidential immunity. The judge disagreed with Trump's argument that his attempts to overturn the election were part of his official duties, siding with the government's position, that's Jack the Ripper, deranged Smith, that they were personal actions tied to his re-election campaign. This decision directly contradicts Trump's defense and weakens his ability to avoid prosecution by claiming immunity. Remember, the Supreme Court issued immunity that that it didn't say that he's immune from any kind of prosecution, just he's immune from official acts because it will set a precedent. It will handcuff, because again, the legal world works like precedents, case law, evidence, substance. Once you make a decision, a judge, this is why a judge's impact is so profound. Once a judge makes a decision, it sets a precedent for all future cases from here to eternity. This is why these decisions are tantamount to changing the very fabric of legislation, society, and how we conduct our lives in our country. And so it's really, really important. It's really, really important to understand the impact of these decisions. So if the Supreme Court had not ruled that official acts are immune to prosecution, every president in our great republic, hopefully if we can last for centuries and decades and hundreds of thousands of years, my goal is I want the republic to last for trillions of years, till time immemorial. That means every president will be walking on eggshells and unable to lead, unable to govern. And when you need to govern, when you need to make tough decisions, it requires tough people. It will weaken the office to the point of incapacitating it and making it 100% insignificant. Why even have a president? That's the real kind of gist of this. Does that make any sense? Let me know in the comments. This action indicates that the court is willing to hold Trump accountable for actions it views as outside his presidential role, setting a legal standard for how far presidential immunity extends. Public transparency. The judge's decision to unseal the indictment ensures public transparency. It signals that the court believes the American public has the right to understand the allegations. It's actually constitutional law, especially given their historic and political significance. This transparency could influence public opinion and political discourse leading up to the election. So that kind of gives a little bit of why this is significant. Now, will the case go to trial before the election? This is really something I want to know. This is something I know you want to know. It's uncertain, but there's several factors that could determine that. So legal maneuvering. Trump's legal team will likely continue to file motions to delay the proceedings, including challenges to the judge's rulings and appeals regarding presidential immunity and other procedural issues. These tactics could slow down the timeline considerably, and I think that's obviously going to that's the more likely avenue that will be approached by Trump's legal defense, as well as probably the most likely outcome. Pretrial process. Criminal trials, particularly ones involving a former president, require extensive pretrial procedures. This is important to understand, including discovery, witness testimonies, and pretrial motions. This could take months to complete. We're 30 days out. But you see what they're trying to do here, you guys? This is a psyop. This is a completely useless indictment. It's not going to go to trial. As soon as the election's over, all of these charges are going to be dismissed because this is all used for political lawfare. This is a psyop. This is a psychological operation. They are trying to embed and hypnotize and brainwash the American public. Convicted felon. Remember the hush money trial back in April in New York, Judge Fake Don Juan Merchan. Even though every legal expert, every legal specialist says, including the number one lawyer in America, a Democrat, Alan Dershowitz, says he's never seen anything like it in the 60 years of practicing law. What does that tell you? In the 60 years, Harvard law professor, one of the most accomplished attorneys in the history of America, who's a Democrat, said it's the most egregious miscarriage of justice he's ever seen in 60 years of practicing law. This is a psyop, my friends, my fellow Americans. They're trying to embed. This is propaganda at its worst. They're trying to embed, look at all these cases. I can't vote for this guy. There's actually people out there who don't do their critical thinking, which is why I say tap the thumbs up and share this with everybody, because we need to educate the masses. We need to educate everybody so they can make informed decisions. When they make informed decisions, that affects you, it affects me, it affects everybody, especially at the ballot box. I don't say likes and share for me. It's because I want everybody to make informed decisions. Once they have all the data, once they have all the information, do what you will. But you can't say you weren't exposed to it. You can't say you didn't understand what happened. And so this is a psyop. This is just their way of brainwashing and carrying out and executing mass propaganda at scale. It worked in Germany in 1939, and it's working today with social media, with connectivity at the highest levels mankind has ever seen. So they know this is a sham indictment. They know this is a bunch of BS. But why am I talking about it? Why all the headlines are talking about it? You know why they're talking about it? Because they know it's going to send an implicit message into the brains of every single American citizen, especially the momos that go, man, another one? Man, this guy, I don't know, call me crazy, but there's no way he's completely innocent. Yeah, as a matter of fact, there is. Unequivocally, he's 100% innocent. You have to understand that's the truth. Judge's schedule. The judge has the authority to expedite the case, but given the complexity of the charges and the potential for appeals, it's unclear if a trial could be completed before November 2024. I would say highly unlikely. Political considerations. Courts often try to avoid high-profile trials during election cycles to prevent influencing voters, although this is a special case. This is a unique case involving a former president. There may be a pressure to resolve it quickly to provide clarity before voters head to the polls. You damn Skippy. In summary, the judge's decision to unseal the indictment and disagree with the Supreme Court on immunity is a significant setback. However, whether the case goes to trial before the election depends on legal delays, pretrial processes, and potential appeals. It's possible, but not guaranteed, that the trial will occur before the 2024 election. Can you guys imagine? Can you guys imagine what would happen if for the next 30 days, instead of Trump being able to go out there, campaign, inspire America, fight for America, show the American people his solidarity, his energy, his vitality, his love of country, his plan, communicate his plan, his strategy, how he's going to make America healthy again, strong again, great again, powerful again, respected again. Could you imagine instead of that, they put him in a courthouse again, just like they did in New York back in April? And the only thing that we see, the only images, this is a psyop. I'm telling you, my fellow Americans, it's a horribly planned and it's only effective on nincompoops and nimrods, but it's still a psyop. They're trying to implant images in the minds of American people when they go to press that pen to the paper and actually vote. They're hoping that an image will come up in their brain. An image of Trump in a courtroom, an image of Trump being indicted, an image of Trump being a convicted felon, which is all BS, a complete hoax. Please take that into account. I can't wait to get your thoughts on this. Okay, I want to share with you Trump's team's response, which I thought was really interesting. And I want to get your thoughts on this. Check this out really quickly.
Right now, this is Stephen Chung, the Trump campaign spokesman, saying that the release of the falsehood-ridden, unconstitutional J6, referring to January 6th brief, immediately following Tim Walz's disastrous debate performance, is another obvious attempt by the Harris-Biden regime to undermine American democracy and interfere in this election. Deranged Jack Smith, again quoting from the spokesman in Washington, D.C., radical Democrats are hell-bent on weaponizing the Justice Department in an attempt to cling to power. President Trump is dominating, and the radical Democrats throughout the deep state are freaking out. The entire case is a partisan, unconstitutional witch hunt that should be dismissed entirely, together with all the remaining Democrat hoaxes. This again from a Trump campaign spokesman. Of course, all of this back and forth on redacted material that has now been made public from Jack Smith's investigation, born of a Supreme Court decision that said essentially actions by a president in office, you can't touch them.
So you have a pretty strong reaction from Trump's team. And then I also have Trump's response right here that I want to bring to the stage. So here's Trump's response where he says the release of this falsehood written, let me read that again. So the release of this falsehood written unconstitutional J6 brief immediately following Tampon Tim's disastrous debate performance, and 33 days before the most important election in the history of our country, is another obvious attempt by the Harris-Biden regime to undermine and weaponize American democracy. Do you guys remember what Hillary Clinton said recently? She said something's going to happen in October, very ominously and foreboding. Maybe this is what she meant. I don't know. 33 days before the most important election in the history of our country, it's another obvious attempt by the Harris-Biden regime to undermine and weaponize American democracy and interfere in the 2024 presidential election. Deranged Jack Smith, the hand-picked prosecutor of the Harris-Biden DOJ, and Washington, D.C. based radical left Democrats are hell-bent on continuing to weaponize the Justice Department in an attempt to cling to power. Trump is dominating, he put Trump in quotes, capital letters, is dominating the election cycle, leading in the polls, and the radical Democrats throughout the deep state are totally, quote, freaking out. This entire case is a partisan, unconstitutional witch hunt that should be dismissed entirely, just like the Florida case was dismissed. What do you guys think of Trump's response? I don't think there's anything in there that you can disagree with. I honestly don't think there's anything you can disagree with there. Can you? He's 100% right. Why would you bring this out now? Why now? I mean, it's just absolute insanity. Why would you bring this out now? He also said this. Let's see if I can bring this up on stage. So he also said this. Whether now the fully debunked Russia, Iran, Ukraine, 51 intelligence agents spying on my campaign, impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2, or any of the other scams, this illegal action taken by the Justice Department, including their raid on Mar-a-Lago for a case that was dismissed, will end just like all the others, with complete victory for President Donald J. Trump. Make America great again. Yep, I hope he's right. But just to say really quickly, I completely agree that everything that he just said, that this is completely an attempt to interfere with our election. This is election interference in bold headline, capital dark letters. I mean that vehemently. I mean that 100%. And I can't wait to get your thoughts on this. What do you think of Jack Smith in this new unsealed indictment? So I want to give a big shout out to John Lies, gifting 1 Professor Nez membership. Thank you, John Lies. Remember, new members, you get a badge next to your name, shout outs and live streams. You're automatically registered when you become a member into our live stream giveaways for members only. I've given away thousands of dollars in merch, Amazon gift cards, cash. It's always been a secret dream of mine to be a game show host. So you guys get amazing things, and I get to fulfill a small, tiny childhood dream of mine. So this is another reason to become a member. On top of that, you also get access to our members-only Discord, which is unbelievably thriving, engaging, collaborative, fun. We have great conversations in there. I'm in there. It's absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much, John Lies. I really appreciate you, brother. Jill England, welcome. If you heard everything that I said, oh, and by the way, to get access, connect with Jim Barron, who's one of our main mods, along with Laura Tilford. In the community tab on our YouTube channel, in the community tab, there is a community post for members only that shares a link to our members only Discord, or you can connect with Jim Barron. But the easiest way is just to go to our community tab. Maybe JB, can you share the link to our community tab and go there and you'll see the post that's for members only. And there's a link to our Discord right there. Welcome, Jill. It's nice to have you. I apologize if I butchered your name. JB Jim Barron gifted not 1, but 2 memberships because JB is the man, the myth, the legend. I love you, Jim. You're fantastic. You're the best of the best. So happy that you're with us, and just always a pleasure to see you, brother. Thank you for all your support. John Lies with another one. Wow, John Lies, you are on fuego. You're on fire. Thank you, JL. Fantastic to see you as always. We have some amazing, these guys are amazing patriots, smart, intelligent. They love our country. And they just support. They're just nothing but support. They always leave thoughtful comments, considerations. Love these people. I'm so grateful. We have the greatest community on any online ecosystem you can imagine. And it just makes me so super grateful. So thank you, John. Flash in Your Pan. It's great to see you. Flash in Your Pan has an amazing YouTube channel. Go check him out. He's also an amazing live streamer. I've known Flash for a very long time. And so I'm always grateful. I'm always grateful that Flash is here. It's so awesome to see you, brother. You just renewed your membership, I see. Fantastic. It's great to see you, Flash, and I'm proud of you, brother. He's a former Southern California native. It's always a pleasure to see you, brother. And welcome back. And hopefully you'll join our Discord. I think you're in our Discord, right, Flash? Hashtag Flash Fam and hashtag Nez Nation are always longtime brothers. And so it's always great to see you, man. Always great to see you. So I want to throw this off to you again. If you haven't already, tap that thumbs up. If you love America, tap the thumbs up. In the pinned comment is my X account, aka Twitter. It's now called X. Follow me on X because I post a lot of things I can't post anywhere else. It is literally the only free speech platform left. God bless you, Elon Musk. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I want to hear from you. So let me know in the comments, what do you think of my assessment of this indictment, this new unsealed indictment by Jack Smith against Donald Trump? Is it going to sway your opinion? Does it sway your opinion? What did you think of my assessment and analysis of it? Again, I'll leave the link to the full indictment in the description and show notes. John Lies, you're amazing, dude. You're absolutely amazing. John Lies just gifted 5 Professor Nez memberships. That is amazing. That is so awesome. Thank you, John. Great to have you, brother. Thank you so much for all of your support. You guys are absolutely amazing. 30 days, y'all. Thank you, John. You're terrific. 30 days. We are 30 days away from the most consequential election of our lives. Please, please, please grab everybody you know and drag them to the voting booth. Drag them to the ballot box. We have got to come in numbers. So it's so awesome to see you guys. I can't wait to hear your comments, read your comments. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so, so much for watching. And please let me know what your thoughts are. I can't wait. Thank you so much. As always, God bless you, and may God bless America.